In this GeoMapApp tutorial for the ocean floor drilling portal, we're going to focus on the age depth models functionality. For this tutorial, we're going to concentrate on drill hole 8-72, which we've selected in the table down here. In the map, we see the location of this drill hole, as indicated by the red symbol. To activate the age depth model functionality, we click this button in the table toolbar. When we click on the button, a window containing the age depth model opens. There's quite a bit of functionality associated with the age depth models, so we'll look at each of the components in turn. First, we note that on the vertical axis, the depth below seafloor is listed in meters. And the scroll bar over on the right allows us to scroll all the way to the bottom of that particular hole. In this case, we see that the deepest penetration was a little over 340 meters, which corresponds to the penetration depth listed in the table. On the horizontal axis, we have the sediment age in millions of years. We have the ability to zoom in on the graph by moving the cursor over one of the vertical axes like this one and dragging it one direction, and we can drag this one this way to expand the scale in that particular area. To revert to the original scaling, we go up to the top and hit the normalizing button here. In the graph, the vertical blue and green lines, the ones like these and these, indicate the fossil ranges as defined by the first and last occurrence of the fossils. We can turn those fossil ranges off by clicking the button at the top here, and back on like so. For now, we'll keep them turned off whilst we explore some other functionality. The coloured rectangles in the chart, like these, indicate the boundaries of the epochs and stages. As we move the cursor up and down in the chart, the age depth control points pop up as red circles like the one here. We can save these age depth control points by clicking on the diskette symbol up at the top. When we click the Save button, a navigation window opens and we can select the location in which to save the file. So we hit Save, and we can open the text file containing that dataset. The first column gives the depth in the hole in meters, and the second column gives the age model value in millions of years. The age depth model that's presented in the graph can be modified by clicking on the Edit button over here. With the Edit function now active, we move the cursor into the chart and click on one of the control points. By dragging this control point with the cursor, we can change its location, like this. When we find the position that we're happy with, we let go of the cursor, and a new control point has been created at that position. And we can do the same thing for other control points like this one, say we want to bring it down here. To help edit the age depth graph, it might be necessary to view the fossil ranges, so we'll turn those back on. The new set of control points that we've created can be saved by clicking the diskette symbol like we've already seen, but we can go back to the original age depth model by clicking the normalizing function up here. If, in previous sessions of GeoMapApp, we'd modified the age depth models and saved the results, we could call up those models by going to the drop-down menu up here. So we can call up any of the models that we previously made, or we can save the current model by clicking the bottom selection here. And that will allow us to access this new model in a future session of GeoMapApp. At any time, we can revert to the original age depth model by clicking on the default model here. We've already seen that as we move the cursor up and down in the chart, the control point nearest the cursor is illuminated. So as we move down, we can see the control point circle showing up on the line. And the position of the cursor is noted by the red horizontal line. The text display at the bottom of the chart gives us information about the control points and about the age depth model. The first three numbers give us details of the control point that's nearest the cursor, and the second three numbers give us information about the location of the cursor relative to the age depth chart. The first set of three numbers, these here, tell us about the control point that was closest to the cursor. In this case it was control point number 4, which had a depth of 243 meters below the seafloor, and its assigned age was 23.03 million years. The second set of three numbers, these here, tell us about the location of the cursor in the chart. As indicated by the red horizontal line, we see that the cursor was at a position of 251 meters below the seafloor, and the interpolated age on the age depth model is 23.524 million years, and the backtrack depth is calculated as 3,763 meters below the paleo sea surface. The final aspect of the age depth model functionality is the Chronos LOC button here. LOC stands for Line of Correlation, and clicking the button brings up a web page for the Chronos portal Line of Correlation information. More information on GeoMapApp can be found at www.geomapapp.org.